Hi everybody, welcome to another Divorce Workshop Live. Today we have our returning guest, Mary Ann Hughes, who's going to come talk to us about self-care and children with special book just separated is on sale on Amazon all this month of January. So today we're going to talk about self-care. Hi Mary Ann.
Morning, Karen. How are you? Happy New Year.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how was your holiday season?
It was great. We were in town, kind of quiet, had some family visit, but it was good. How about you?
Good, it went by fast.
It did. It did.
As it always does, right?
It does.
So before we get started on this really important topic, want to just introduce yourself quickly?
Sure. I'm Mary Ann Hughes. My company is Special Family Transitions. I'm a certified special needs divorce coach. So that means I help families who have a child with a disability when they're thinking about going through or trying to live their best life after divorce. I'm here to help connect with resources and support them in any way that I can to help them advocate for themselves and for their kids.
Mm-hmm. It's a vital, important profession and tool to me. But anyways, so I love this topic for many reasons. It's a huge topic. I was thinking about it today, self-care, right? So in my field, like grief counseling and the divorce coaching, I try to implement self-care tools for people, right? But it's like that metaphor of you put the mask on first, and then you put in the airplane, and then your child. But I find, including myself, I don't know if you've felt this as well, is sometimes we don't practice it very well, right? And so I'm wondering if is there, it's hard for all of us to practice it, but is there unique challenges or with children with special needs? Like, is it, because special self-care, okay, go to the gym, go for a walk, be around community, but is there different uniqueness when you're dealing with co-parenting and special needs children?
Yeah, I would say it's a big difference, or at
Is there?
least
Okay.
more pronounced
Okay.
In terms of what you may face typically. And so as a mom of a child with special
Mm-hmm.
needs, or dad too, naturally our attention is going to go towards our child,
Mm-hmm.
whether they're has some physical challenges, behavior challenges, or otherwise. We're always trying to take care of them, making sure they're safe, make sure they're secure, and have what they need. And so sometimes it's hard to step away and have time for ourselves. So I know that was something I realized I was doing before my divorce, and I try to catch myself more now to develop more strategies, which I'll share with you.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times we just put ourselves last. We take care of everything and everybody else around us first, and the day comes and we haven't done anything for ourselves, and we feel depleted.
Mm-hmm.
And so we don't want that to happen. We don't want to feel resentful. We don't want to feel like the whole day went by and we didn't get to do anything fun or have an enjoyable moment. And so I think it's important, like you're saying, to make time to think about what's going to make us happy today. It may not be something elaborate like going to a spa or taking a vacation or something fancy or expensive. It could just be something like having a minute during the day to enjoy a cup of coffee alone, with some quiet time. And so it could be as simple as that.
Yeah, I think there's this assumption when we talk about self-care, as you're saying, is like doing these big events, right? Okay, I'm going to the spa, or I'm going to a retreat, and I think we're not talking that way. We're talking about little things that can help you through the day, right? So what are some of the strategies that you advise your clients and stuff when they're going through this type of stuff?
Yeah, so I would say be mindful of it and make that a priority. So for me, most of my self-care and actually my things I've got to get done during the day are when the kids are at their school or day programs or other activities. Well, maybe I do have that time, then I can then figure out how to do it. But within that day, I've got to be smart about how I schedule my day. You can find the whole day goes by quickly and you haven't really done anything as productive as you'd like it to be, or taking care of yourself. And so sometimes I'll make time or make myself go work out, and that takes some effort. It does take time. Or you can just walk around the block. In the neighborhood, I do that a lot when I don't have time to go anywhere, sometimes between meetings, just to kind of get a new view on things. I just go for a walk. Sometimes it's by myself, but sometimes our kids are at home. And sometimes I do it as a family walk. And so that in itself too can be self-care. So it doesn't mean you have to do it alone. You can do
Right.
self-care with other people around you too.
Yeah. I think that's a good thing too. Like with your kids is okay too, right? Like everyone's like it's always just about self-care about yourself, but I think it should be, you know, you can do whatever makes you feel good, right?
Right. And you're trying to be a role model for your kids. You want to teach them self-care. You want to teach them and show them that it's good to get outside in nature
Hmm.
and enjoy, looking at nature, enjoying. Like for us, we have a place that we go close by, and we did that over the weekend. And so that's an enjoyable time for all of us. It relaxes us, it gets us
Hmm.
moving. Maybe it's not a strenuous exercise, but at least it's something to get us out of our routine and do something that we enjoy as a family. I mean, whatever your family looks like,
Hmm.
whether you're married or
Hmm.
not. And so, yeah, that's something that we like to do.
Is there any other strategies that that like does community, like, you know, I really love support systems. Like I find the more support systems that are the good support systems, I'm gonna put that in there, can really be helpful for all of us. So is that as well as one of the tools that you would use?
For sure,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So, depending on your situation, if you're a mom with special needs or
Mm-hmm.
not, there's probably organizations, whether they're in person or online, that can provide support, provide ideas, cheer you on, and share suggestions as to what's going on in your
Mm-hmm.
life. So, for instance, I'm in a special needs organization in Houston where we have a great online community. We share resources and support and ideas for different things. And we also have in-person events, whether they're social events or lunch and learns and different things. So that way we have a sense of community. And even that is a form of self-care,
Mm-hmm.
making the time to go to these events, making the time to watch things like this, to find resources online, whether it's a Facebook group, whether it's somebody's YouTube channel, Instagram, that has information that is helpful to you. So that, to me, that's what I like to do with my time is,
Mm-hmm.
um, I mean, you can spend time scrolling and maybe, and that's a form of self-care too, just to kind of have a mindless
Mm-hmm.
activity just to get your mind off stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
But we want to catch ourselves that we're not doing that too much. And I've got to be careful about that myself. But I think, ways that you can find ways to learn tips and techniques to take care of yourself and your kids and have self improvement and learn new skills. I think that's a great way to spend time. And there's all kinds of ways to do that, like you said, through different support groups, online, or even read a book, whatever way is going to work for you, just so you can find the moments in a day, kind of micro time.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes it's hard to plan like 30 minutes. So maybe you got 5 minutes here and 5 minutes there. That's what, you find something that you can do during that time, or think about maybe what you're grateful for. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I've heard it said, and I've tried, even though it's hard to just focus on, one thing at a time. But if you are thinking about what you're grateful for, you can't feel that way and feel stressed and anxious about the same time. So if you find yourself thinking about all kinds of different things, just center to one thing that made you happy today or in the past month, or something that lights you up about your
Mm-hmm.
child or yourself or things that you're doing, and that will kind of spark you to kind of re-energize and get through the day, hopefully.
Yeah, it reminds me of this exercise that I don't know if anybody would like to know about this, but it's like a 14-day challenge, and it's gratitude. And every day you have to name three different things. So you can never repeat the same one in 14 days. So it makes you really reflective, right? So you can't, if you're having a tough day, the first time you can say, okay, I'm breathing today, right? I got through the day, but the next day it has to be different. So it is I've used it with clients too, because it kind of gets you to be more deeply reflecting instead of just always just the one thing. So that's just wanted to put out there if anyone wants to try that.
Yeah.
It's a 14 day or 21-day challenge of gratitude.
Yeah, I think it's a great
Yeah.
thing to do. And it's a great way to start the day or
Hmm.
even end the day, or just if you're stressed during the day, just take a moment to kind of relax, decompress, and think about your what you can do next to
Hmm.
make the situation better. Because if we start off the day in a negative tone, it's going to
Yeah.
continue that way.
Yeah.
So don't start the day with all your to-do lists and all the things that you're dreading. Think about something exciting that you're going to be doing that day, or what you can do or
Hmm.
hope to do,
Hmm.
and then make that happen.
Yeah. Another thing is like you were mentioning going for a walk. I'm not sure about Houston, but we have up here in Ontario, Canada, we have a lot of forest. And so being in nature that way, that being amongst trees and nature and birds, we call it forest bathing. That's something that can be really helpful too. It's the same thing as going for a walk. It's just that you go into more of that nature or by water or whatever is connected to you. But they've actually researched it. It can be very helpful.
Yeah, there's a place that we go where it's like a nature
Yeah.
sanctuary, and there's some water and there's some wildlife, and yeah, that's always fun to see, what we can find that day.
Yeah, and it's been beneficial, and I've done it with my girls as well. So, do you have any other tools in your little toolkit there for self-care?
Sure. So I was going to mention for people who are going through divorce, people are sometimes can be overwhelmed and so stressed out.
Mhm.
But I was thinking about this, and I've got a whole list of tips. But really, I think what came to top of mind is that remember that you're in charge of your divorce,
Mm,
and you don't have to feel rushed. You may feel a lot of pressure to make decisions when you're not ready to. And I think it's important to take a step back and remember what's important to you and what you'd like to do for yourself and for your child and what you'd like your future to look like. And
yeah,
so there's no one who's going to hold a gun to your head and say you have to decide right now. You may feel like there's that pressure, but know that if you need more time, there's always most always ways to make that happen. So whether it's working with somebody to help, like you said, share some strategies, help you kind of think about what you want your future to look like, help you find resources and make decisions in your divorce, and people like us definitely can
yeah.
help you in that respect.
It was interesting yesterday. I was talking on another live with Shauna Warden, and we were talking about like you, we've been in the business for a while, but so many people that have gone, like when they're first going through divorce, they don't know, right? So they're kind of like, as you were saying, like, I have to make decisions, I have to make decisions. And really what you're saying is you take a breath, right? Just pause and take a breath. And there really is no fast finish line to this. And some of these things that come up, they're big decisions that you have to make, right? So it is best just to kind of breathe and sit with what you want to do, because some of these decisions are life changing.
Right. That's why you want to do the self care or have time to think about things and be in a good place. Because if we're not taking care of ourselves, we're sleep deprived, we're stressed
Mhm.
out, we're not going to make good decisions, and then we're going to wreck those later. And so we want
Mhm.
to be in a good place. As you know, we like to say, you can't pour from an empty cup. So take care of yourself so you can make good decisions in your divorce and take care of your kids so that everybody has a better
Mhm.
outcome.
I also want to mention that we talked about it a little bit at the beginning, but make sure you have the right type of support systems, right? So um, if you're going down a path where people are giving you really, or your friends or family, and it's really all like really harsh and negative all the time, that's not going to help empower you as you go through the divorce journey, because you really do need supportive people in your pocket.
Right. And so your family may think they're being supportive, and it's great to
Mhm.
have those family ties and have them be there, have them be there for you. But they may see things from a different perspective or a different lens than maybe a third party or an impartial person might, who may help you kind of readdress or relook the situation through different eyes and see what
Mhm.
can I do to make this better? What can I do so that everybody benefits from this, as opposed to just taking revenge on somebody or
Mhm.
feeling, acting out of emotion, as opposed to, rational thought, which is one of the goals that I have for when I work with people, to get them away from emotional thinking
Yeah.
to looking at divorce as a business
Mhm.
transaction, something that we have to, think logically and clearly about so that we can do what's right for us and for our kids.
Yeah, that's one of the toughest things, right? Is that they have to learn. The reality is divorce is a business, and though I know it doesn't seem that way because you've been married to this person and there's emotions in that, but it is a very it is a business decision. Learning to not react and learn to respond is something that is very important too, right? And so I was about to think, like I was thinking, we can have a lot of anger, we can have a lot of pain, and that's valid, right? So practice that self-care by going to the gym or going for the walks or talking to people that validate you. That's also a form of self-care, because that has to come out just in
Right,
safe
exactly.
places, right?
Right, exactly. And like you said, support system. So maybe we process emotionally what's going on first. Maybe you find a therapist, mental health support person, or like these different people, whatever it might look like for you, so that you are in a better place to make these decisions. So definitely, yeah, there's, groups, there's professionals, there's all kinds of networks and ways for you to feel better about yourself, know that there's hope for the future and for yourself, so that you come at it from a different perspective in a healthier way.
I want to ask your opinion about what do you feel about the support groups online? Do you like those?
It
Like,
depends. So there's some that are just, these Facebook groups, and you're going to have all kinds of opinions with all kinds of experiences. There are ones that are led by professionals, and those maybe have a different view and focus, and maybe are may help you more than just general ones. But it depends. Depends on your budget, depending on your time. And sometimes, if we're up in the middle of the night, we would just want to search some stuff and put our feelings out there, then that's helpful. And I know I find a lot of things that are encouraging that I learn from, and sometimes I comment on people's concerns, and they value that. So it could come from something structured and formal, or it could be just from a group of like special needs moms in my instance, or divorce groups that have some information to share, to know that you're not alone. And that's the key, is remembering you're not alone. There's people who have been through this and can share good advice. But like you said, be careful about those who maybe have different views and a negative tone, and we don't want to go down that road.
Yeah, one of the things I remember thinking when I first got divorced is it's just me. Like I'm just, and I'm thinking, and then I was like, well, really, like 52% or 56% of the population get divorced. But at the beginning, I thought, oh, I'm one of those people, not realizing there's a lot of people out there that can be supportive. And I think it's a vital thing to have when you're going, especially at the beginning of divorce, as friends can shift and families change, right? And everything transitions, and you're trying to rebuild. So that's another element of self-care, to realize you're not alone, because isolation is not good.
Right. And there are in-person divorce support groups, and those are definitely helpful to learn, to get the things off your chest, which is what a big thing of those things are for, but also to learn some strategies and about financial, about planning, about different things that you need to consider as part of divorce. And people are there for you. It could be clergy, it could be other professionals, it could be someone who's been there. So like you said, I never really had, I guess, I'm not saying divorced friends, but I have a lot more of those now than I did in the past, because that really wasn't my my reality at the time, and something that I thought about. But now those are my closest friends and supporters, are those who have been through it, whether they're professionals in this area or just moms, especially these kids who have been there and understand.
Yeah, that could be another live, Mary Ann, because the shifts always happen, right? Yeah,
Exactly.
Is there any other tips before we wrap it up, about self-care? Do you have any other things you want to say?
Just kind of know that whatever you make your priority will be kind of what your day looks like. And so sometimes I find it helpful just to schedule my day, schedule my exercise, schedule when I need to get things done. That takes a lot of pressure off. And even in a divorce, you want to schedule when you're going to be working on different things. And I think sometimes you just feel overwhelmed and feel like they don't have time for anything, including self-care. But if we look at our day in chunks, I think that tends to help.
Yeah, the metaphor, I like what you said there, was I always say the ant eating the elephant. Just do little bits at a time, because you can get overwhelmed, because everything's flying at you, right? But you're right. Do it in chunks, plan it out. You're not going to get it all done in one day. So just do a little bit. I actually say sometimes when you have to do something challenging, like maybe you have to go to the lawyer, or you have to go to mediation, or whatever you're doing, and that maybe after you get yourself a nice cup of coffee, like you kind of reward yourself after and say, yes, I got through that. And now I'm going to go home and I'm going to make myself a nice coffee, and I'm going to sit and unwind and watch my favorite show for half hour or something. You know what I mean? Like some type of reward after you get through a very challenging time. So that was one of the
celebrate our wins. Sometimes we reward our kids, but we forget to reward ourselves. So that's a great point.
Yeah, we don't. That's what I say. That to wrap this thing up is, like, as I was saying at the beginning, is none of us. I have to remind my clients all the time, are you practicing whatever tool you use? Because we're all unique in what we need for self-care. And I'm telling you, and myself, I'm like, no, like, so it's a good reminder that we need to do this, right? We need to practice our compassion on ourselves, right? Self-compassion, and really think about ourselves, because our kids need us to be healthy too, right?
They need us, and maybe it means finding a sitter for a little bit, or
Mm-hmm.
finding, like I said, whether they're at school or whether you need to bring somebody into the home or drop them off somewhere. There's some kind of respite opportunities, all kinds of things out
Yeah.
there. Take advantage of. Granted, it could be harder for some people if they don't have a network already built up, but
Mm-hmm.
that's something, a priority I think to have, whether now or in the future, to find people to help
Mm-hmm.
offload you, to help
Mm-hmm.
give everybody a break,
Yeah.
and then you come back in a better
Yeah,
place.
because it's co-parenting is hard, and it's a big adjustment. It's hard for the kids, but it's hard to get used to because you're the only parent for that time being, right? And so that's why I'm thinking, you need to practice some self-care too. And I know you get breaks from, depending on your custody arrangement. Some get longer, some get not, but you do get breaks, but it can be overwhelming. So we really need to think about that. It's just a good reminder. But if anyone has any questions, just put it in the comment. Otherwise, it was great to talk to you again as usual. And I think we're going to see you in March for another discussion. And if you have anything else, do you have anything coming up,
I do.
Mary Ann?
Thanks for asking.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah, yeah.
just kicked off a new project, a new website. In
Oh,
addition to
good.
my own special family transitions, I started something called Divorce with Special Needs Children. So I did it with another certified special needs divorce coach, a colleague of mine. And so we're going to have it so that it is to share resources around the country, that people that can help you, whether it's divorce
Mm,
coaches, whether it's financial, whether it's planning, whether it's real estate needs, anything to help support you as you're going through divorce or even after divorce, that relates to supporting you and your child with special needs. So we're excited about that, because I know when I was going through divorce, it was really hard to
mm-hmm,
find that information, to find resources. So now we're kicking that off and going to have people that we've vetted and
mm-hmm,
trust, and we'll be posting those on the website. So the website is live now. It just has our information on there, but that is our goal, to have a network across the country of people that can then support
mm-hmm.
anybody going through this challenge, and have that information there for them.
What's the website's name?
Divorce for Special Needs Children.
Okay.
So,
Divorce
.com.
with Special Needs Children. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's a great resource. That should get out there more.
Hey, great. Yeah, we just launched it this past week, and so yeah, I'll put the link in here as well.
Mm-hmm,
So we're
mm-hmm.
open it to
Yeah,
all mental health professionals, all kinds of people who can be of support.
that's awesome. That's awesome work. Good for me to know too.
Great.
So, anyways, thank you for coming on today, and we'll see you soon.
Great. Thank you.
Okay,
Looking forward
take
to the next.
care. Bye bye.
Bye bye.